Welcome everyone. Hope you can hear me fine over the dulcet tones of my 3D printer. I'm madly printing things for the monthly Mayhem truck, and have to get that stuff done. So you're going to have to deal with that. Hopefully it's not too loud or annoying. Welcome to Lightroom Live. It's Tuesday night. It's 8:30 p.m. I actually, just up until about 10 minutes ago, was totally asleep. Rebecca and I were having a little snooze on the couch. Even the dog was asleep. It was like perfect storm. Everybody was asleep. I didn't even set an alarm. Luckily, I am up. Hopefully, echo. Okay, all right. Stand by. How about now? That should have fixed everything. Sorry about that. That definitely fixed it. Definitely RTX working overtime tonight because I am printing a lot of stuff for the monthly Mayhem truck. Thankfully, Traxxas came through in a big way for me. I know that people have their own complaints, but they stepped up, man. After seeing the frame, or what was left of it, and this serious bend I put in it, and you will see all of this tomorrow, giving you a sneak preview. They sent me new frame rails overnight from Texas, Traxxas, Texas, and truck is back together and looking better than before. I've done a few other things to it, and you'll get some of that tomorrow, most of it in the following week. Thanks everybody. Check in if you feel like it. Hope everyone's well. I know there's a lot of wildfires and hurricanes and tropical storms, and there's this whole other thing going on. It's been going on since January, February, March. So hope everyone is well, and hope you're ready to get some photos corrected. What's Josh saying? You want me to send in a photo of my TRX-6 so you can edit my winning thumbnail today? Wow. It's bold. It's bold, sir. Anyway, let's get to it. I'm going to jump over to the Lightroom. There we are. And this is a selection of the photos that I still have to do. Let's start with this one from Tim Shackelford. Tim, I hope you're watching. If you are, fantastic. If you're not, maybe you'll catch this later on a repeat or something. Looks like that's the Proline Bronco painted on the outside. What do we got here? Looks like an SCX-10 2 maybe, or an SSD truck. Hard to tell. But that looks nice already. I love the background. Love this environment it's in. Looks like the north or southwest somewhere. At least, I don't know. My geography isn't the best. But this looks like a nice place to start, I think. Looks like we got some brass going on there. This does, maybe it's a VS4. No, it's not a VS410. Good looking chassis though, whatever that is. Love this color too. So let's dive into the developing tool and start playing around a little bit. First, I'm going to do a radial around the truck itself. Always nice to start there. Not so warm though. Going to keep it sort of neutral. Give it a little boost of exposure and boost in the shadows. And then we'll probably just stop with that there. And let's do a gradient here and warm or cool that off a little bit so we get a little more blue in that sky. Lower our exposure a little bit so we get some sky. Maybe even drag this down a little bit further. That's looking pretty good. I like this teal color. You'll probably be able to figure out why by tomorrow morning. Yeah, I'm not gonna. There will be no spoiler alerts because I'm not gonna spoil anything. I want everybody to enjoy tomorrow's episode. I know that Josh has been out there doing a bit of testing and also a bit of prettying up his truck as best he can. It's not his strong point, that's for sure. I gave it a bunch of texture and clarity as well. I'm going to go down into my HSLs and I'm going to boost the hue on our orange. Oops, that's not what I wanted. I wanted to go that way. Oversaturate that a little bit, and also our yellows too, to really bring those rocks and everything to life. Maybe do a little bit of that too, just to kind of give it a bit of craziness overall. But I am going to bring our saturation back down a little bit overall, but up our vibrance. That's really pretty cool. Let's throw a vignette on that as well. So it didn't have a Toyota frame. No, Evan, definitely didn't have a Toyota frame. But to be fair and to be honest, you saw if you were watching on Instagram, you saw some photographic evidence of the crash. That's, in terms of damage, only thing broken, not even broken, the only thing bent was the frame. Otherwise, totally fine. Everything else, 100%. Which is pretty amazing, I do have to say. Traxxas has definitely done their homework on their construction. It's pretty incredible. I'm just giving this a touch more exposure in this radial filter here, just to kind of really get the truck to pop a little bit more. Especially after I threw that vignette on it. I think I just put a medium. Maybe I just put a light. Feels like it's a medium. Yeah. Medium looks pretty good. What else? Somebody gave me a tip in the comments, and I think it was, the slash key allows you to do what I was doing before, which is like undoing everything so you can see what it looks like without it, before, after. I think we've actually done a fair bit to this photo. I might give it the saturation and the hue on the greens a little more, just to really kind of differentiate the background there. That's pretty good. Maybe one more gradient coming up from the bottom here. We'll leave it as warm as it was, but we are going to bring down that, give it a bit more contrast, and lower our shadows overall, just to center the eye. And see, I did a diagonal there. It's not for the whole thing. It's just over in this corner over here. There we go. And let's take a look at that full screen. Before, after. I feel like that orange is a little oversaturated, and I'm also seeing the light in the background there. So I'm going to actually go into our red saturation, pull that all the way down. That shouldn't have affected many other things, but I'm going to see if I can paint that out. That's going to be a tough one, I think. Oops, I blew it already. Try again, Matt. This is challenging, no doubt. Oof. Yeah, it doesn't like that very much. That's not going to work. Delete that. We can just do a paintbrush on that specific area. That might work a bit better. And what we'll do is we'll just crank down the exposure and pull out all the saturation. There, that's better. Much better. Oops. Let's zoom back out. That's looking pretty good. Yeah, I'm digging that. I think that looks pretty good. Hey, there you are, Tim Shackelford. Thanks for checking in. I'm glad you're watching. And there's your truck. I hope you like it. All right. SCX10 2-based. All right, I was right the first time. Are those SSD axles or at least SSD pumpkin covers? Replace the stock ones? Anyway, all the same, looks very nice. Nice job on that truck, and thank you for your submission. And hey, if anybody else wants to submit their photos, submissions at scalebuildersguild.com. It's in the description down below this video. Email me your big photos there, and maybe they will appear on this show. So there you go, Tim. Thank you very much for your submission. Let's do the thumbnail photo. Where's that one at? Andres Hermelo. This is a great photo. I love these action shots. These are so much fun. The truck is called the Machete. Got some super shafty parts in there. It looks like Pitbull Growlers, SCX10 2-based. Is this the hard body? Yes, it is. Very nice, man. I like that one. Love all the dirt kicking up. That's great. Let's see if we can give this a bit more love. It's a raw photo, which is always great. Let's keep that locked. And I'm just going to give this a tiny bit of a crop, just to get rid of some of the leaves and other big stuff in the frame. That's much better already. All right, let's start playing around here. As you can see, because it's raw, it gives you all the data here for the temperature and the tint when it was shot and white balance as shot, which is really great. And then you can also go in and change these things so it's like, maybe it was a cloudy day, or maybe it was really shady, or maybe it was just straight daylight, or we can just do as shot, and then we can out with it ours, which is what I like to do. I'm going to keep it fairly pink in terms of the tint, because if you go too green, it starts to get kind of washed out. I like seeing scene, but I also like seeing some warmth in that scene as well. I'm not going to go crazy with the white balance, though. Kind of keep it kind of on the cool side of things. I don't know why that keeps happening. That's weird. But RTX cut out again. Anyway, sound is back. Presumably. Sorry. Having some stream issues, it looks like, too. Thanks, Darwin. You didn't have to give me $2, though. Sorry. But thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah. No, we're good. Looks like we're back. Anyway. Good now. Yeah, I should just kick it. It's probably a good idea. I don't know what happens. Every once in a while, RTX just says, "No, I'm not going to work anymore." Yeah, in fact, it quit itself without me having to do anything. Weird. It is beta software, so maybe that's what it is on this one. Let's get back to this photo. Make sure that things are running okay again. Stream status poor. Yes, 3D printer is running in the background, Travis. Because I think I said at the beginning I have to do a whole bunch of new parts for the Mayhem truck. For no other reason other than I wanted to. You'll find out tomorrow morning. Tyler, there's a link in the description of the video. You just send them to submissions@scalebuildersguild.com. It's an email address. All right. Sorry about that, guys. It's, yeah. It is what it is. Every once in a while. I seem to have more problems than anybody with streaming. Josh seems to be pretty rock solid all the time. I wonder if I just got too many things running. That's probably what it is. In fact, before we get back to this one, let me switch over to me again, and I'll just quit some of the programs that I'm running, and maybe that'll help speed everything up a little bit. Talk amongst yourselves. All right. Gonna refresh my chat. Make sure that's all good. Yeah, it looks like we're okay. Apparently there's still an error, but yeah, it does sound a bit like Pac-Man. This is a loud printer, I'm not gonna lie. But it's the only printer I've got. Although I do have my eye on a new Prusa i3 or Mark III or whatever it is. Yeah. Okay. Where were we here? Let's bring up some of the yellows and the oranges. And maybe we'll do a radial filter here on this guy. And I think I'll just give it a touch more exposure so the truck kind of pops a little bit. And there we go. I could try starting RTX again, but chances are before, after, before, after. I think that looks pretty good. That's a good looking truck. Nice action shot. I don't get a lot of action shots here. I get a lot of posers. but this is definitely a good one. All right, thank you, Andres. Much appreciated. It's a great photo. Really, really nice. One more before, after. Nice one, man. Thank you very much for the submission. Yeah, because of all this stuff I've got to do for the Mayhem truck, this is going to be a short episode for sure. I'll try to get through a few more, but I'm definitely going to limit this to like an hour tonight, I think. Let's do this one. This is a nice shot from Andrew Leonard via Craig Banks, who very kindly sends me a lot of photos from his friends, which is really helpful. Thank you for doing that. So here we go. Nice looking shot here. I like that it's a bit tilted. I think if we were to kind of try to get the horizon to match perfectly straight, we'd probably lose a bunch. And let me show you what that would look like. If we rotate it this way, it doesn't really, and if we constrain it, you're really going to get a pretty tight shot. I mean, that doesn't look the worst. It's actually kind of interesting, but I think I prefer where we were. Although maybe just a tiny bit more rotation. There we go. Cool shot though. I love the water, and it looks like it's like maybe like a winch assist or something for this poor Toyota. Not that Toyotas ever need to get pulled out by Jeeps. But very cool photo. Thank you for the submission. I'm gonna warm it up a little bit. Give it a touch of exposure. Actually, we're gonna bring the exposure down because I want to see body lines. I think it's really helpful when you can see those. Let's go full screen here, actually, so we can play with this one full screen. And we're going to bring up the texture and the clarity, but we're going to pull blue out of this scene using our HSL sliders. It's just feeling a little like artificial. So we'll start with aqua and then blue. You can see how that changes right in the fenders. See, like there's a lot of blue, that's where it was, and now we're just pulling that all out. And that brings a lot more realism into it, because all that blue is just reflection off the plastic. But already I'm feeling pretty good about that. It's a pretty neat looking photo. Red saturation I'm also going to pull down ever so slightly, and I might even change the luminance of it so it's not so like in your face. You can see how that changes. There's where we were, and that's just bringing it down a little bit. Otherwise, man, I think that looks pretty good. Before, after, before, after. It's just a subtle correction, but it makes a big difference, I think. Bring up the, or I also, by proxy, it also, because there's a lot of orange in that red, you can also adjust back up a little bit. I think that helps a lot. Yeah, it's a loud printer, I'm not gonna lie. There's the full photo there. I think it looks really great, just as is. I already gave it a touch of texture and clarity as well. Not as much on the clarity for this one, more in the texture realm. I think we'll just kind of leave that one as is. I like that one. Nice job. Let's not do a Jeep next. I feel like I've been on sort of a Jeep kick. Oh, let's do this one from RC Patina Guy, who's been doing a lot of cool painting. I've been following him on Instagram for a while now, and his Lexan stuff is pretty cool. This one looks pretty good too. Power Wagon, Dodge Power Wagon for Proline. Looks to be on a flat rail chassis of some kind. Not too sure what, but nice looking truck. I like the solar flare in there. That looks really cool. So let's get to it here. I'm going to rotate this one a little bit because, as you can see, the truck's a little bit off kilter. Not too much, just a touch. Keep that crop constrained. I'm going to go up here, and I like the white balance right where it was. A little bit of warmth from the sun. Definitely texture. And a little bit of clarity as well. Really brings that patina to life. That rust is pretty good looking. Gotta say, that's nice. Looks like it went right through the Lexan on that one too. Hey, Canyon Racer, maybe you can tell me, are Prusa printers much more quiet? I've heard that they're quite silent in their when they're printing. Let me know. I'm just doing a radial gradient or a radial filter here, and I am warming it up ever so slightly. I'm going to amp up the contrast a little bit so that rust really comes to life, and definitely give it a bit more texture in there as well. And exposure has also been raised as well. Maybe do a radial on the front tire here too. But I'm going to pull the warmth out of that. There we go. Nice. I think because this is an older looking truck, we will do some grain on this one. Not a heavy one, but probably like a medium. I think that works pretty well. You guys talking about trucks? Yes, SFL. It was quite the introduction for the Traxxas TRX-6 to a solid object. What is that? Darwin, what are you talking about Google's money? I'll have to go back in the chat. Not sure what that is. Alright, let's see. I love this is like the Gulf livery from back in the day. That's a good look for this truck. I wonder if Patina Guy, if you're going to do some cage work on the back of that. Feels like it could use some luminance on the greens. I'm just bringing that down a little bit. You can see how that just kind of helps center your eye on the truck a little bit just by making that a bit darker overall. Good background though, nice and clean. Nothing to kind of fool you to thinking this isn't a big truck. I mean, obviously it is a small truck because there's a massive servo right there, but all in all, that's a nice looking photo, and I think a pretty decent correction too. Before, after, I think that helps a lot. Before, after. Nice. That's a good one. Thank you, RC Patina Guy. Much appreciated. Yeah, anyone that hi Vijo, how are you? Your stories and stuff have been on fire lately. In SFL, I did mention the EVGA thing. Maybe that was when I was muted. But EVGA is hosting Josh and myself on their live stream this Friday, 3 p.m. Pacific time. We're going to be talking about how EVGA has helped us in our day-to-day with the channel, all the hardware that they make, and we're going to do some giveaways too. They're giving away some really awesome computer gear. So if you are into computers at all or are looking to upgrade to maybe like a new RTX card, GeForce RTX, it might be a good opportunity for you to pick up some good swag. So definitely check that out. Link is in my profile on Instagram, and a link is also in the Facebook post as well. So keep an eye out for that. Hey, play some AC/DC for background noise. Yeah. Jeremiah, thanks for the $4.99. Should I put overdrive and underdrive gears into my TRX4 Sport? Also, my body is still not painted. It's been 3 months. You should get on that. I did overdrive, underdrive in mine, and I also did the portal delete when I did the budget build, which I found to be too much reduction overall, especially for overdriving the front and underdriving the rear. It was way too much stress on the driveline. So if anything, I would do the overdrive, and if you feel like you've got too much torque twist, just do the underdrive in the rear. Leave the front as is. That'll help a lot. Yeah, that would be my suggestion. If you are like really desperate for a little more performance, definitely do it. But otherwise, yeah, maybe just underdrive. All right, so that's a good photo. Thank you very much, RC Patina guy. Let's do another one. Which one should we do? I'm going to do this one. It's a nice little convoy of Enduro, and then what looks to be an SCX-10, and then some sort of rock bouncer there on some very cool rocks. This is from Jason Whitaker, also courtesy of Craig Banks. It's not a big photo, and I warned Craig about that, but let's see what we can do anyway. First things first, this desert scene feels like it can definitely be warmed up dramatically. We're going to leave the tint right there. Going to underexpose ever so slightly. Highlights will bring down a little bit too. Shadows I'm going to crush. This is more art in terms of this photo, trying to get a little more out of it. Definitely amp up the texture, really get those rocks to shine. A little bit of clarity. We're definitely going to dehaze it, because it was a pretty hazy photo, if I'm honest. But that's looking much cooler already, I think. It's worth the copyright infringement. Yeah, no kidding. I would, but yeah, I would get, I would definitely get a copyright infringement. And I did that once on an SCX-10-2 raw builder's kit, full build, like a live build. And yeah, I had to re-upload the whole thing, but muting out certain songs. It was a real pain in the butt, let me tell you. I don't want to crop this photo, actually. I kind of want to leave it as is. What I like about it is that it does give you a lot of negative space, so it is kind of cool to see that. Let's throw a radial just on these trucks, sort of like this. That's too hot, of course. There we go, that's better. That looks pretty good. Before, after, before, after. I'm gonna look at the hue on that yellow, because it was feeling a little neon there, so I'm just gonna swing it a little more towards the orange realm there, and I think that kind of helps. Yeah, there we go. Now it's sort of like daytime sunlight, like early morning sun just rising up. Nice long shadows. That looks pretty cool. It's a good photo. Thank you, Jason, courtesy of Craig. And what should we do next? Let's do a Toyota. This one's from Harry Miller. Looks like that looks like a TRX4. Well, those are TRX4 wheels and pitbull tires on what looks to be a TF2. Those are leaf springs. Nice, well-used, well-abused truck. I like the magenta and the purple going on there. We're going to have to bring that up for sure. So let's get on that. I'm going to keep it fairly warm, but kind of neutral. Things are pretty blown out down there at the bottom, so we'll bring a gradient filter here and see if we can't help that out a little bit. Oops. I don't think this is a big photo either, so we'll do what we can. It's not bad. I feel like, because this is an older style truck, I feel like grain would probably help this a little bit. Can't go too grainy. We'll go light with that grain because this is a pretty small photo. A little bit of texture and clarity. And then let's start playing with the hue and the saturation on these purples and the magentas because I really want to bring that to life. Yeah, that already looks a lot better. I don't think I've ever done a purple truck. Has anybody else done a purple truck before? Ooh, let's do something with this sky, because there's some nice ominous looking clouds going on there. So let's play with that a little bit. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, now we're talking. That's pretty nice. In fact, you know what? Because I don't like what's going on here at the bottom, you can't see it as much as I can. There's a lot down here that I'm not really digging, so I think we will do a subtle crop. Plus it'll also kind of rule of thirds this a little bit better as well. Boom. Much better. That's pretty helpful. Yeah, so that's looking pretty good. I like it. I like it a lot. Did I throw a vignette on there? Let's throw another one on. For fun. For fun and profit. All right, that's looking pretty good, I think. Harry, thank you for your submission. I like seeing a well-used truck, especially on the trail. If I can give you one cosmetic piece of advice, maybe lose the first bumper and just cut off the whole bumper attachment. And then just raise up that stinger instead. Just one bumper instead of two. Otherwise, nice looking truck, great looking environment, nice photo. Let's do a little before and after on the big screen here. Before, after. Before, after. You know what? I'm going to give it a touch more saturation overall. Just a touch. There we go. Before, after. Nice. I am old school. I probably am. Very old. Let's do, oh yeah, let's do this one. This is from Kelly Hartle. Nice looking Tacoma. This is the RC four-wheel drive Tacoma on an HPI. Wow, I'm gonna see a lot of those around. Cool looking bridge. Looks like another Southwest or California. There's a cactus back here. Very nice looking truck. Let's make this picture look even better. Just gonna give everything I'm gonna suck out some of the exposure, and that is to kind of help bring the sky to life, bring everything else down a little bit so you can focus your attention on the truck. Then we'll do a radial filter on the truck. Oops. And rotate that around, so we're just going to hit most of the truck. Keep that where it is. Add a little more exposure overall. Bring down my highlights ever so slightly, because you see how it blows out when they're way too hot, so that's better there. Maybe boost the shadows up a little bit so we get a little more texture. This plays into what was going on in the previous photo. In Harry's photo, the double bumper, you can see that he's Kelly here's actually trimmed away where the bumper would sit, and now he's just got the one bumper, sort of like a more off-roady style bumper. So there you go. Looks a lot better with just one, in my opinion. I mean, you're allowed to have as many things and bumpers as you want, but just for the aesthetics of real life, that's my suggestion. Try to amp up the texture and the clarity a little bit, so we can really pull that out. Sky's already looking pretty good as is, but I think we'll do a little bit of work to it anyway. That's too much. That's better. I'm putting a little green, like a little cyan, into the whites, and that's just to kind of give it a little less super blue, more like an aqua blue. That's looking pretty good. Can you make it faster? This print's almost done. It's on its last 40 minutes. Alex, I am printing some parts for my Mayhem truck. You'll see tomorrow, but I had a bit of an incident, and a lot of things got broken. Nothing from Traxxas got broken. The only thing I broke were my own 3D printed parts. But I'm wise now. I've gotten a lot wiser, and you'll see some of those changes in week 5. Is this week 5 coming up? No, this is week 4. But in week 5, you will see some of the results of some of the things I'm printing now. And yes, it should be done soon. Anyway, back to Kelly's photo here. I like that there's a bridge here. I'd like to know where this is. Obviously, the bridge isn't there all the time, but it looks like a nice spot. And we're gonna try to fiddle with the, yeah. See, okay. So here's one thing in the luminance sliders. The things here are when you pull the luminance down in the oranges, it really brings all the texture to life in that bridge. And that's exactly what I wanted to do. That looks really cool. I like that a lot. Greens are all looking good. Sky is feeling pretty good. I think we've got a winner here. I like how this is looking. Let's see before. Oh yeah, massive change. Massive, massive. Let's go full screen. Before, after. Yeah, that looks wicked. That's a nice photo, Kelly. Thank you very much for your submission. And I've said it before, and I'll say it again. If you want to submit a photo for Lightroom Live like we're doing here, by all means, send them to submissions@scalebuildersguild.com. I check my email on that usually once or twice a week, pull them all into Lightroom, and then the same day that the show is happening or the day before, I send out all the ones I did from the previous week. Obviously, there weren't any from last week, but I did send them out from the ones previous to that. And that's because I was doing another live stream with the two presidents from Proline, Chris Dickerson and Todd. from Proline and Chris from Horizon, which was a very fun interview. It was great to get sort of the inside scoop on what's going on with those two companies and how Horizon plans to integrate them into the whole Horizon world. I think it's going to be a really good thing for Proline and a really good thing for Horizon. So very, very cool. Okay, so thank you, Kelly. Much appreciated. Oh, hey, Robbie Bobster sent me $5. That's very awesome. Thanks, man. Thank you for the videos. It's a great series. Certainly helping with the boredom of lockdown in Melbourne, Australia. And I'm sorry you guys are going through a bit of a resurgence there. I hope everything is cool and you're safe and healthy and staying safe. But yes, thank you very much for the $5. And I'm glad that I can help distract everybody. It's the sort of the reason that Josh and I got started with the live stream takeover. Yeah, that's what it's called. And then another reason that I wanted to do this was just to kind of have a bit of fun and do something that I love and share that with everybody and hopefully teach everybody a few things along the way. So thank you very much. John, I didn't know you were colorblind. Usually, if you, and you know what, I'll go through a little demo for you. I will help you out here. So thanks, Kelly, much appreciated. Let's do another photo here real quick. Just sort of a balanced sort of, oh, this is a good, nice shot of another Toyota here from Peter Gyro, or Giro? Peter Giro. Another TF2 also on leaf springs. I'm happy to see a lot of them still on leaf springs. Some people tend to they want to link them, and if you're going to link a TF2, you should really just buy an SCX-10 instead, or an SCX-10 for that matter. You'll get a much better level of performance. I have linked TF2s in the past. I would not recommend it. Anyway, John, to help you out here, if you are in Lightroom mobile, you should have a bunch of presets available to you. And the best preset, I think, for just a standard sort of photo just like this without having to do too much to it, you can go through some of the color presets. Natural, high contrast is good for tiny trucks. High contrast and detail is probably even better. As you can see here, it's very, very quick. That's the before. I'll go full screen for you. Before, after, before, after. It just gives you a bunch more contrast. Also sharpens up the photo a little bit too, and gives a little more saturation and just knocks up the clarity. I think it really helps, and it's a really quick and easy one. You can also do vivid. High contrast and detail or vivid are very easy ones to use, work really well, and on a variety of photos too. There are a bunch of creative ones where things are a bit more like weird or wacky, like warm contrast or vintage instant are fun. But those are easy ones I would recommend. Also, just always kind of give it a touch more contrast. That's about it. That's all you need to do. So with Peter's truck here, I'm going to kind of do, I think I actually kind of like this vintage instant. What it does is it brings some warmth into the shadows. You can see that it goes from sort of black and it becomes brown. So there's your before, and there's your after. And it kind of does that as a wash over the whole thing, but it really works well for these kind of vintagey trucks. Moose Jaw. There's no way that bridge has been there since the 30s. I love it though. That's great. I'm also going to add some grain to this one and heavy vignette. Let's play with that red though. Let's do something different with that. Let's change the hue of it and really kind of make it kind of washed out, kind of vintagey. See, that's kind of cool. I like that. That's great. This is a nice looking truck. I like the camper back on it. Ooh, there's something I almost didn't do that we should definitely do. And that is paint these headlights. try to warm them up a little bit. Because they would never be that white. There we go. Yeah. All right. Ron, it's not you, it's my 3D printer. I'm doing some prints for the monthly Mayhem truck, and I needed to get going because there's limited time left in this challenge. And I'm just doing a gradient here on the sky, bringing a little bit of blue in there. And that's looking pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. That's a nice shot. Really nice environment, too. So, Peter, thank you very much for your submission. Man, we're rocking and rolling here. We are approaching an hour. Like I said, it was going to be a quick one tonight, but I will do a couple more. How about not a Toyota? How about, oh yes, how about this one from Bill Sofroniuk? I know where this is. This is in Alberta, Canada. This is at, what's the name of that park? They've got like a whole scale park, which is really awesome. I can't remember the name of it. Why do I feel like there's something slightly not right about this Chevy K10? I think it's a K10. Can anybody help with that? Anybody have a good idea of what might be wrong there? I'll go full screen for you. Let's make that a happy red. Anybody know what might be wrong? Yeah, well, other than the Oilers and the Flames. Didn't the Flames choke too? I don't watch hockey, I don't know. Nobody knows what's wrong with this Chevy? Come on. Somebody must know. Actually, that's the right... This tailgate is accurate, so that's a good start. I mean, there's a Range Rover in here, but that's not what I'm pointing out. Cool looking Range Rover too, by the way. I guess they're both of their hoods are up. I wonder, they must be broken down. But there's something... No, gas cap is on the passenger side. So it's not that mark, but good guess. No, not the... Yeah, it was a Blazer. Now it's a, whatchamacallit? Silverado? No, that's... I think the bed actually not lining up is cool. So not that either. Get one more guess. No one's going to win the prize tonight. His tires are on backwards. They are supposed to go the other way. There, you get the wider spacing lugs on the outside, and these lugs go on the inside, on both sides. But Bill, I'm going to let it slide because it's a nice looking truck. Let's do a little bit of correction to it. I'm just playing with you guys anyway. It doesn't matter. It's just my OCD. All in all, though, a great looking truck. Nice place to play, too, from what I recall. What else should we do here? I wish this background was blurred, but it looks like that's where the focus was. That's okay. We can work with it. I'm gonna go a bit arty with this one, I think. We are gonna crop it. See, I think that we do that right there. That print is almost done. There we go. And let's give it a touch of saturation overall. And vibrance too. I'm just trying to go a bit artier with this one overall. Leave that like that. The hue on that green needs to come down. It's pretty neon. And then saturation, I'm also going to adjust that. Pull that down a little bit so it's not so in your face. And maybe even the luminance too. Yeah, that's better. There we go. That's feeling pretty good. Let's go full screen. Before, after. Nice. I like that. That is Blackfoot RC. Thank you. Thank you very much, 79 Ford Mustang. I was trying to remember the name of this place, and I couldn't for the life of me. And these guys have actually come all the way out to Ontario and played as well at one of the secret locations that one of our mutual friends has. Man, they are really nice guys. They do great work on their trucks, and to have their own, it's almost like, I think it's like city run in some way. Like I think there is some sort of connection between the city actually running the park or having some sort of ownership in the park. It's just nice to know that that's out there and that people are treating scale with, you know, kind of like in the public eye. It's kind of neat. Anyway, great photo. Thanks very much for submitting that, Bill. And of course, like every week, I'll send these all back to everybody with a SBG watermark. Bo, what do you mean I forgot to edit your photo? I'm sure I did. I've done it before. I know I have. Let's do this one from Greg Lozier here. Nice looking stock Wraith 1.9. With those, are those portals? Do you have portal axles under it? Or is that my imagination? No, those are portals. Nice. So not a stock Wraith at all. All right. Let's get that fixed first. Constrain that crop. That's a little piece of advice I can give you every time. Try to get your horizon lines straight. Just kind of helps overall, make the truck look a little bit better. The cat's getting into one of my boxes of stuff over there. I went to the hobby store today to get some stuff for the TRX6 Mayhem project. All right. Let's cool this one off, I think. And those are Traxxas tires. I wonder if they're... No, those are axial portals for sure. Capra portals. I can hear her over there. I'm gonna pull the saturation, the greens down. And get our aquas up a little bit and our blues. Focus is definitely on the driver here, not on the front of the truck. Oops, what happened there? There we go. Texture, clarity, for clarity's sake. Definitely gonna vignette that one too. I wonder if this is worthy of doing a black and white. I think it might be. I like black and white every once in a while. There's a black and white punch. Kapow! Right in the kisser. That's looking pretty cool, actually. Every once in a while, it's nice to do a black and white photo. Just really does something different, you know? Nice to have having fun with it. We're having fun with it today, guys. There we go. This reminds me of a Wraith photo that I did. I did a Wraith a long time ago when they first came out. I changed it to a Tamiya Bronco body and had to do a little cut and shut on the rear to make it fit properly. It was like dovetailed in the back. It was cool. This kind of takes me back. So thank you, Greg, for submitting that cool photo. I'll be sure to get this one back to you. It's always nice to do a black and white photo every once in a while. Looks great. I love it. And while I'm here, and I mean, I think we're going to call that as the last one for today. Because like I said, just wanted to do a quick show tonight, just an hour. But definitely appreciate you guys watching and submitting all your photos. Just a sneak preview for what you'll be seeing tomorrow. That's where the Mayhem 6x6 OMG 63 sits for now. And I think it's looking pretty good. But just a little sneak preview on Monthly Mayhem. Josh and I are trying to get this truck to go fast. Last week we got to 57 miles an hour, and this week there might be more. You'll have to wait and see. Tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 5 a.m. on the West, and there'll be 2 fresh episodes from both me and Josh. So I hope you guys are following along with that one. This has honestly been, for me, probably the most fun I've had in a Monthly Mayhem. It's rare that they aren't fun. I mean, they're always fun. This one is especially fun. I am having such a crazy good time with this truck. It's so well built and so robust and so willing to go fast. The crazy thing about it, the first time we did a speed kind of challenge, both of us ended up swapping out the transmissions, basically gutting the whole thing, and it was just basically the frame and the body, and that was it. This truck largely has not changed. Stock transmission, stock gears. I mean, we've gone overdrive on all the axles and actually removed the portals, but it's basically still a TRX6. Like, you could take that truck, put other tires on it, and just go back to crawling off-road. It is really amazing, especially after what you will see tomorrow. You'll understand what I mean in terms of how strong these trucks are. So if you've never driven one, and if you have no interest in 6x6, I still suggest you check one out, because they are pretty great. They are pretty great indeed. Okay, so that's it. I think we're gonna call it. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching. Much appreciated. Thank you for all the super chats. It's really very kind of you. Not necessary, but very nice and very much appreciated. If you want to submit photos, submissions at scalebuildersguild.com. 8 a.m. tomorrow morning for the next episode of Monthly Mayhem. And then, of course, live stream takeover, Josh and I, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific, tomorrow evening. So that's it. Before we go, has anybody guessed what sort of theme I'm going for with my truck? And there's still a lot of cosmetic stuff to come. That'll all be in the last week. And I also will mention that Josh and I have found a third party to do our voting for us on who gets more style points. Hopefully you'll be voting for me, because mine actually has style. Anyway, that's where we're going to end it. Thank you so much, everybody. We'll see you again tomorrow morning and evening. Have a great night. Thanks again.